In the bustling village of Okigwe, Nigeria, surrounded by yam fields and mango trees, a cavernous hall of Divine Flame Ministries buzzed with a fervent crowd on a stormy Sunday morning. Whispers filled the air as worshippers craned to glimpse Mama Light, a prophetess. Some claimed she could see a person's deeper secrets, others believed she spoke directly with angels. But a young man, a quiet churchgoer for months, felt unease ripple through him as thunder rumbled outside. Suddenly, a shout pierced the hall. One of Mama Light's aides rushed forward, trembling. "Mama has done it again, she healed a blind woman." The congregation roared with praise, but the young man frowned. He'd seen that blind woman selling ground nuts at the market days earlier, her eyes sharp. Doubt gnawed at him, yet he knew challenging Mama Light, revered and powerful, could turn the village against him. Years ago, Mama Light had been a humble girl in Okigwe, raised by devout parents in a mud brick home. She led youth prayers, taught Bible classes, and sang in the choir, her voice a village treasure. Neighbors called her blessed, destined for God's work. Yet no one foresaw the shadow that would twist her path. The young man learned this from old church members, puzzled by her transformation. After struggling to grow her ministry, Mama Light attended a lavish pastor's summit. A renowned preacher pulled her aside, saying, "Holiness alone won't fill your church. Sacrifice is the key." He spoke of a ritual requiring a grave offering. Though hesitant, her ambition won, and she agreed to a ceremony that cost her the ability to bear children, sealing her fate. The young man overheard whispers of this pact, fueling his suspicions. After the ritual, Mama Light felt a strange power cloak her. Her services in Okigwe swelled with followers, her fame spreading across Nigeria. But her secret ran deeper, she was no longer fully human. Bound to an underwater covenant with a marine spirit, she became a half-human, half-serpent being. Every midnight, she slipped into the Imo River, transforming into a creature with shimmering scales, guided by the Marine Queen. The young man sensed her otherworldly aura but lacked proof. In the underwater kingdom, Mama Light met other occult pastors, sharing dark strategies to bind followers. The Marine Queen granted her visions into people's lives, but at a cost, her soul and humanity. Back in Okigwe, her church thrived, amassing wealth from offerings, cash, goats, even family lands. The young man saw villagers give their last kobo for blessings, his heart heavy with their desperation. Mama Light introduced windows of heaven, small glass panes she claimed were blessed to reveal spiritual truths. Congregants stared into them daily, believing they saw their flaws. In truth, these panes, tied to marine spirits, let her spy on their secrets. One Sunday, she called a woman, saying, "You fought with your sister over land last week." The woman gasped, awed, unaware Mama Light had seen her through the pane. The young man clenched his jaw, recognizing the manipulation. She also sold anointed oil, simple palm oil in vials, priced steeply, claiming it cured ailments and brought wealth. When the young man saw an elderly woman give her savings for a vial, his resolve hardened. He noticed a healed man in a wheelchair stand dramatically, but he'd seen him walking freely at a palm wine joint days before. During a service, Mama Light fixed on a wealthy trader. She declared, "Your wife's spirit hinders your success." Shocked, he begged for help. She urged him to private prayers at her mansion, sowing discord. Soon, he distanced his family, drawn into her influence with flattery and promises. The young man overheard congregants whisper of broken homes, realizing her schemes tore families apart. She also blessed holy cloths, scraps she claimed held healing power. Behind closed doors, she dusted them with ash, altering their texture to seem divine. An aide laughed, "Just ash and starch." The young man overheard, his phone recording, knowing this was evidence of fraud. Driven by courage, the young man hid by the Imo River one midnight, phone ready. He saw Mama Light chanting strangely. Her skin shimmered, scales emerging, legs fusing into a serpent tail, before she slithered into the river. Stunned, he recorded, realizing she was a malevolent hybrid tied to marine spirits, not just a fraud. At the next service, Mama Light, sensing suspicion, called the young men forward, saying, "The Lord sees your heavy heart. Come for a blessing." Her voice dripped menace as she whispered, "Some truths are too dangerous." He stood firm, heart racing, but refused to yield. Over weeks, the young man gathered recordings, photos, and testimonies. He released them to local media, exposing Mama Light's fake miracles, staged healings, and occult ties. Okigwe reeled, congregants wept, betrayed. Mama Light fled as her empire crumbled. Addressing former congregants, the young man spoke, "Not every prophet speaks for God. Test their words, seek truth. True servants don't demand wealth or self-fear, they live humbly, showing God's love." He urged discernment, noting honest pastors exist, serving without greed. Okigwe began to heal, weary but hopeful.